Have you been so addicted to a game that it consumed your entire life? For me, like many, the game was World of Warcraft. In this video, I'll take you through how it took over my life and my journey through this game, the turning point that made me quit, and how I took my life back. So I was first introduced to this game when I was just in college around 14 years back. And at that point, I was very intrigued by this game. I didn't know much about it. I had heard some things about it, but not a lot. So I got into the game. Nothing much, you just, get into the game. You have a character. I created a mage, and then you level up through the game, and then you reach the max level. It took me a few weeks to, get to the max level. That's how I got started. A friend introduced me to the game, and as simple as that. In the beginning, the time investment that I did to the game was not a lot. I wouldn't say the game had taken over my life or anything as such. It was just a simple start. I was, getting to know the game. I was understanding what spells do, what is, how things work around, how to, kill things, how to level up, etc. It was very easy going. So of course, it was not in the first few days or the weeks or even the first few months that I had any idea about how addictive this game could get. Just a few hours every day, maybe 2 or 3 hours, and that's it. I mean, looking back at it now, it just feels even 2 or 3 hours is a lot of my time. But at that point, I was in college, I had a lot of spare time, and I could afford to spend this time, into gaming. But it was not something that had taken my life yet. So the first signs of addiction were, when I reached max level and I started to raid and I got into a guild and I had made a few buddies on the game. That's when I first came to realize how addictive this game could be. So I joined a different server where, it was easy to level up and you could get to the end game fast. And there were a lot more players in this server, and even my real life friends were playing in it. So we made raid parties, we made groups, we had a guild, and, I showed up every day. I used to play maybe 4 or 5 hours every day, and my time slowly increased during this period. So this is when I first saw the signs of addiction. Like when I didn't get to play for a day or play, the number of hours I wanted to play, I felt this emptiness that, I had to go back, and, I felt like the day was incomplete if I didn't get to play my characters, if I didn't get new shiny loot, or if I didn't go on a raid, something like this. My relationship with my family also started deteriorating where, I didn't want to, talk to them for long, or I didn't want to even call them. So my frequency in communication with them reduced. My friendship with my non-gaming friends became weaker and weaker. And this happened during my last year in my college where I had my final thesis to be done. And because of this addiction and this game overtaking my life, I couldn't even focus on my project and I couldn't complete it on time. Fortunately, I came to my senses a little bit and I finished off the project. So it very well could have ended up taking much longer than that. The game had a short hiatus in my life where I stopped gaming because my friends had stopped gaming and I lost interest in it. But I got addicted to it when I found more spare time when I went for my masters. And over there, the same story repeated. I made new friends online, I used to raid with them, and this game again overtook my life. This time, a new set of friends, and these were completely online, so there was no losing them physically in the real world. So the game took over my life completely again. And this time it had a much tighter grip because I was alone in a new country and it was very difficult to even get out of it. So I tried to quit multiple times, of course, because my academics were not doing well and my relationships were not well in my new college, but it pulled me back again and again, and it was ruining my life. So the biggest turning point of how I managed to overcome this is when I found a good group of friends in real life in a new country. And those people helped me understand and helped me get out of this addiction. They didn't know about it completely, but they knew I had some sort of addiction, which I used to go back to my room for to play. They knew that I played. They didn't push me too much, but they just, invited me to gatherings. They asked me how am I doing, and just having this connection with, new friends helped me a lot in understanding my problems and to help me reduce my time at least to quit it completely later on. The thing that finally helped me turnaround is just moving countries. So I moved back with my parents, and it helped me understand, how much this game had overtaken my life, and just to put this into perspective, how this was ruining my life. So I did have withdrawal symptoms. That is, I used to crave going back to the game, and I used to just think about playing again. But I understood that it was a big problem, and I disciplined myself into not playing, and I got myself busy in doing other things. That is helping out my dad in business, talking to my family, going for runs, working out and listening to productive things, let's say, and being spiritually active. That is doing my prayers on time. So after quitting WoW, the immediate benefits that I saw was that I had a lot of time to myself, and this is something that I didn't realize earlier, that how much time was being spent on playing this game. So over the long term now, looking back at it, it's been more than 7 years since I've quit playing WoW, and I can truly say that this game can get very addictive and completely take over your lives. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned is to take everything in moderation, not go excessive in any of the things, especially when it comes to things that don't give us any benefit. These things can just take over our lives and probably even ruin it for good. It's sometimes difficult to identify that there is an issue with my gaming and I need to do something about it. And using my experience as somebody who used to be consumed by gaming, I've created a scorecard to understand, how gaming is impacting your life. You can click on the first link below to take it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.